What it do?
What it do? Y'all, I be over here cracking myself up. But for real though, what's up, y'all? How are y'all killing time right now? For moi, I've decided to recap and review Self-Made, the Madame C.J. Walker story, which is a limited series on Netflix. So what I will do is cover the series episode by episode. So first things first, Self-Made stars Octavia Spencer, Blair Underwood, who, may I say, is still fine with his old self. He plays Madame C.J. Walker's husband. Tiffany Haddish is also in this one. She plays CJ's daughter. I can't recall what her character's name is, to be honest. I'm not even sure if they ever really said it, but she plays more of a comedic role. We also have Carmen Ejogo, I think is how you pronounce her name. She was in Selma, and I remember her from Sparkle. Many say that I'm too young to let you know just where I'm coming from. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna annoy the crap out of y'all with that. We also have Bill Bellamy, who is not in the first episode, but Stan is. Y'all remember Stan? Stan play. Why I couldn't call him Stan. I'm sure I think his name is Garrett Morris. Yes, his name is Garrett Morris. He played Stan in the show Martin, so I'm gonna just call him Stan throughout the duration of this. So Stan plays Blair Underwood's father. So let's just call him Daddy Walker. Stan Daddy Walker. I think that works. I forgot to mention that Carmen Ejogo, she plays Madame C.J. Walker's nemesis, Addie Monroe. Now, I will say that my opinion of this episode is fairly negative. So if you are a Madame C.J. stan, this review / recap probably isn't for you. I know that this series is inspired by her story and not an accurate telling. However, I don't like the way the writers went about tackling issues between, let's just call them unambiguous black people and people of mixed race. Actually, you know what? Let's just get into it. Let's just start off with the recap. So the episode starts off with Madame C.J. selling products in an outside market to black women, and one of the women, I believe, asked her if the product really works, and that's when she starts reflecting on a time prior to her being a sales agent. So we see that her husband is abusive and an alcoholic. She's seemingly going through a depression because of her discontent with being a washerwoman, and because of that, or because of these things, her hair has started to fall out, and we see that she has bald patches throughout her entire head. Her husband even says something along the lines of, "I don't want you to touch me because you look like a mangy dog." What did he think he looked like? I'm just saying. So the next thing we know, Addie Monroe shows up to CJ's door with a product called Magical Hair Grow, and she sees that she's losing her hair, and she offers to help her grow her hair back as well as be her confidant. Now, right off the bat, the Addie Monroe character is mad rude. She is mad rude. My New York accent is horrible as shit. She mad rude, son. Mossy, son. She mad rude. Okay, I give up. Anyway, so in one of her first scenes, we see her styling CJ's hair, and while she's doing that, two of her sales agents are asking her how can they perfect their sales pitch. So this heifer alludes to the two sales girls being stupid, because she says, "Now if a washerwoman like CJ can come up with something, I know you two fools can put your heads together and come up with a sales pitch." Eventually, the Addie character gets frustrated with the two girls, and she says, "You know what? Here's what you do. Tell them that if they use my product, they will look like me." Boom. So the Addie character she's never revealed to be biracial, but she is seemingly biracial. She has light skin and long wavy hair. She's not white passing though. So Madame CJ offers to sell the product for her if she's having trouble with these girls, and immediately Addie shuts her down. She's like, "Don't nobody want to look like you." And to be fair, the Madame CJ character does look bad in this. And it's not so much that Octavia is unattractive, it's that the writers or producers or whoever are playing up this battle between light skin and dark skin. And that really triggered me because the light-skinned characters in this are portrayed as like really young and vibrant and beautiful, and then when you see the dark-skinned characters, for the most part they look pretty broken down, akin to what the Madame C.J. character is looking like. So anyway, after Addie shoots down the C.J. character about selling her products, she also mentions that black women don't want to look like the C.J. character. They want a fantasy look closer to what Addie has, and they want to feel like they can achieve that, even though they know they can't deep down inside. The curl pattern, that is. They can't achieve that curl pattern. But like I said, this conversation between those two characters really triggered me because I feel like it's very reminiscent of what happened with the natural hair movement. How it went from, you know, embracing your natural hair to defining your hair. We have these beauty brands who use the nature of the type 3s, which is like the ringlet, the wave, or whatever, and they deceive the type 4s into believing that their products will create these curls out of thin air for type 4s. But getting back to the episode, after she gets shot down by Addie, the CJ character takes a few of the hair grease jars from the house to see if she can actually be successful as a sales agent. And ultimately she is. It looks like she sold every can that she took from Addie's house by selling to black women in the outside market. I also had a problem with this scene because the way she relates to the women that are in the market, I felt like it was all negative. First of all, most of the women that were shoppers were dark-skinned black women with their hair tied up. She starts off her speech by saying, "Do you want freedom or do you want bondage?" In other words, your hair is keeping you down. She goes on to say that she has a Cain and Abel relationship with her hair. In other words, she's always tackling or battling her natural hair. Then she goes into this whole respectability politics speech about how if one of us looks good, we all look good. If one of us looks bad, we all look bad, instead of us just being individuals. This was such a powerful scene to me because the message was clear. If you want to get ahead in the world, the white world, the black world, whatever world, your natural hair in its current state will not get you there. You have to manipulate it into something that's more acceptable. But moving on, the next thing we see is that she has made a lot of money off of selling Addie's products, unbeknownst to her. And Addie insults her by saying that she doesn't care, that she still looks like she just stepped off a plantation, and that she has stolen from her. I feel like the show played down that aspect of their quote-unquote relationship, that she stole those products from her. And if you read the real story, she actually stole the formulation from her as well. So they didn't touch on that, but let's move on. So we see that CJ starts making money off of her own products. Addie shows up to tell her that they can't compete with her because they're not light-skinned. Blair Underwood's fine self is very supportive of her. The whole family chips in to produce the product, and it looks like they're all living together. Eventually, CJ decides that they need to move to Indianapolis so that way she doesn't have to compete with Addie. So the Blair Underwood character is reluctant to go, but eventually the whole family actually moves up there. She is not doing well at first, so Blair gives her an ultimatum that if she doesn't get sales in the next 2 weeks, she's gonna have to go back to being a washerwoman. That, of course, lights a fire under her ass, and she takes to the streets to speak to the black women of the community, and of course she preys on their insecurities. She offers services to the women and again says that if one looks good, they all look good. She hires a lawyer to keep things in order, and things seem to be going great until Addie decides to up and open a store in Indianapolis. So CJ and her daughter go over to Addie's salon to size up the competition, and Addie steps out with a black eye. Eventually, the two make a comment that light skin does not equal a happy marriage, so they're alluding to her getting beat up by her husband. CJ says she needs to find a way to stand out with the colored folks in the community because as soon as they see Addie, they're going to want to go flock over to her. Addie introduces herself to the community via the church, in which CJ responds by offering a discount to her services as well as her products. Of course, the orders start rolling in, but she is faced with an explosion in her basement, so all of her product got destroyed. That's basically where the episode ends. I did like the first episode. I obviously did have some problems with it. Like I said, I don't like how they're playing the whole light skin against dark skin thing, and in the manner in which they're doing it, where the light skinned woman is just so beautiful and vibrant, and then the dark skinned women of the town are just really not looking too good, and they're, you know, on a mission to transform themselves, so to speak. I also don't like how they play down the relationship between Madam C.J. Walker and the Addie character, whose real name I believe is Annie, but we'll just call her Addie to just keep it easy. And how in real life, C.J. was an agent of Addie, and she did steal her product idea and ran with it, but they're portraying the Addie character as a nemesis instead of someone who is rightfully bitchy because this woman stole her idea and is making money off of her. For the next episodes, I'm actually not going to do a entire recap because I think this takes too long. I think what I'll do is just watch the other episodes and just see what stands out and just make some commentary on that. So anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.